Uh, 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 what is up? What is cracking? What is cracking? You tell me, man. You tell me. Uh, I just want. Yeah, you tell me, man. We are in the building, man. Live and direct. Rock Nation News. We don't get into it, man. We don't get into it. We about to get into it. Everybody hit that like button for me. Smash that like button for me. Homie. Smash that like button for me, homie. You feel me? Shout out to Gauss Merlot, 6'6" Kinski. Nothing but a hound dog. Black Columbo in the building. Shout out to my man. Salute. Salute the man. Manos de Dinamita. Manos dead in the meter. The Dinamita. Manos the Dinamita. What's cracking? Oh man, you know me, man. I'm just here, man. I'm just here so I don't get fired, man. I'm just here so I don't get. Nah, man, we gonna have a good time today, man. It's gonna be cracking. It's gonna be good, man. Um, it's gonna be all gravy. You feel me? It's gonna be all gravy. Yeah, man. We trying to. We got a lot going on, man. Yeah, man. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot going on, man. It's a whole on Rumble too. We back live on Rumble, man. That's crazy, right? I figured out how to go back live on Rumble, man. I figured out how to go live on Rumble. That's crazy. Of course, we always want to go live on the website. Of course, that. Of course, that. Of course, that. Uh, so much going on. So much going on. I mean, it's like the song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they continue singing it forever just because it was the song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they continued singing it forever just because it is the song that never. Yeah, man. This Mamdani though, man. Mamdani. They upset, man. The liberals upset, man. Let me tell y'all, Trump masterful, man. Trump masterful, man. I was sleeping on Trump, man. And you know I'm a big Trump fan, man. But I was sleeping on Trump, man. I'm a big Trump fan. I was sleeping on Trump. Even I was sleeping on Trump, man. Even I was sleeping on Trump, man. A lot of people don't know what happened yesterday. A lot of people aren't aware of what happened yesterday. A lot of people aren't aware of what happened in the Oval Office the other day. A lot of people think something happened that didn't. Okay? A lot of people think something happened that didn't. A lot of people have no idea what happened yesterday in the Oval Office. Oval Office was a master display on both parts. I'll give Mamdani his credit too. I'm going to give Mamdani his credit too. And the 48 Laws of Power, man. We're going to go over the 48 Laws of Power today, man. And if you watch it on the website, man, salute to you. If you watch it on wherever you're watching, man. You watching on the website, you watching on OckNationNews.com. If you're watching on Rumble, if you're watching on X, if you're watching on Black Columbo, if you're watching on Ock Nation News. Salute to you, man. He said Robert Greene's Masterfully. Yeah. Great book, man. I had that book on audio. I had the audio tape. I used to just play that joint in my car. I'm talking about 24/7 in my car. And I would always be in my car. Like I like moving. I'm very, very I'm a pacer. When I'm in the house, I pace a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, I like to move. I do a lot of my best thinking when I'm in the car. But yeah, we're trying to get 20 people to contribute to this stream, man. We're trying to get 20 people to contribute to this stream. It doesn't matter what platform, all platforms. We're trying to get 20 people to contribute to this stream. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what happened yesterday, okay? So what Trump did, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to have to break it down multiple times, but what Trump did is he forced Mamdani to govern. Mamdani is a socialist, right? I'm not going to pretend that Mamdani is not a socialist. I'm not going to pretend, right? I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. Black Columbo on the scene. I'm not going to lie to you and try to make you think that he's not a socialist. Oh, you didn't see it? Oh, you didn't see the whole thing? Let me play it then. I'll play it. I'll play the I thought everybody saw it. I thought that everyone saw it. I just took for granted that everyone saw it. My bad. Let me go back and play it. Let me go back and play it. Here we go.
Great meeting.
Some
really
people
very productive meeting.
singing, not knowing what it was.
This city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible. Well, thank you very much. We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them, and he beat them easily. And I congratulated him. and we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. That anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York, and we've got them down, way down from last year. We have, as you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York, good for everybody. But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I will say there's no.
Okay, so everybody expected Trump to be like, oh, you know, you communists, you treat him like Zelensky, right? Or something like that, right? But what Trump, you got to understand, Trump is coming off Epstein. He's coming off the sedition, telling the Democrats that, you know, sedition is punishable by death. We know he didn't do anything to any of those girls in Epstein, but the perception is that he did something, right? So Epstein was a loser for everybody. Epstein ended up being a loser for everybody on both sides. Press one. Epstein was a loser for the Democrats and a loser for Trump. But Trump's the president, and the Democrats are like senators and congressmen and shit like that, right? So Epstein was a loser. It was a bad. It just puts it. Nobody won with the whole Epstein thing, right? So he's coming off of that, and you know, they also the Democrats also won all the elections. Salute to Hot Black, man. Hot Black is in the building. The Democrats won all the elections on November, what was it, 2nd? Or November 7th, I forgot what day it was, but whatever. The last elections, early November, the Democrats won all of them, right? They swept. So you coming off of that, you coming off Epstein, you coming off of telling Democrats, all the Democrats pearl clutching about ICE and pearl clutching and all this negativity, right? Trump, masterful politician, masterful statesman. He used this to get some good press, right? And listen, it doesn't matter that Mamdani is a communist, right? He's the mayor, and there's nothing you can do about it. And another thing about Mamdani that a lot of people don't realize, Mamdani was born in Uganda. He could never be president. Press one. Mamdani was born in Uganda. He can never be president of the United States. He was not born in America. He can never be president. So a lot of people are, losing their heads over this. Oh my God, Mamdani can never be president. He was born in Uganda. You know what I'm saying? He can never be president. He was born in Uganda. So yeah, now if he was a United States citizen, yeah, this would be, kind of concerning. But Mamdani can never be president. He was born in Uganda. And he can't do the switcheroo like Barack Obama, because we already know, he's already on the scene. He's already ran on, I'm from Uganda. He ran on that. You know what I mean? I'm from Uganda. Okay? So he ran on that. So there's going to be no switcheroo like with Obama. No fake birth certificate coming out of nowhere, right? He can never be president. How Black says, Black Columbo and Mamdani mystery. Yeah, I'm getting into it. He said, we're watching a master at work. You won't get this nowhere else. Shout out to Osa the Healer. Osa the Healer in the building. Now, we got Trump. Trump has forced Mamdani to govern. Mamdani is a socialist. What Mamdani was going to do is turn New York into a shithole, and like any socialist in any democratic society, he was going to turn New York into a shithole and just sit in office until the people voted him out. Press 1. That's what socialists do in democratic countries. They turn the place into a shithole and they sit in office until the people get fed up and vote them out. And that could be 8 years, right? That could be 8 years. In non-democratic societies, the socialist comes to power and he sits in office until the day he dies. Luckily, we're in a democratic society where the socialist just sits in power until the people vote him out. So that's going to be 8 years of just turning New York into a shithole. What Trump has done masterfully, done, he's exposed Mamdani. Hey, everybody, the excuse that I'm working against him, the excuse that your city is a shithole because I'm working against him, the excuse that, hey, crime is rising, groceries are out of control is because of me, if working against him, you can't use that excuse anymore. I'm telling the world, hey, everybody, I'm working with this guy. I like this guy. Because I know you wanted me to be adversarial towards him, so when he turned the city into a shithole, it could come down on me too. Well, the city's a shithole because Trump won't help him out. Trump won't work with him. The city's a shithole because Trump did this and Trump did that. New York City, I can't catch the train in New York City because Trump did this and Trump did that. Rats are taking over New York City because Trump did this and Trump did that. Stores are moving out of town because Trump did this and Trump did that. What Trump did is he said, hey, anything good that happens in New York, I'm a part of it. Anything bad that happens in New York, it's all on him. Press 1. If New York fails, it's all on him because I'm going to do everything to help him. And look, I'm not even throwing no shade. I'm being very nice. Look, you couldn't possibly be nicer. And remember, appearances are everything. Anything that goes unseen is for naught. Appearances are everything. Appearances are, in 48 laws of power, appearances are everything. People don't have time to be like, yo, you know what? In real life, fucking Dave Chappelle's not funny when he's at home. When Dave Chappelle's home with his kids and his wife, he's not funny. No, we just go by Dave Chappelle on stage and on the Chappelle show. He's fucking funny. If Dave Chappelle's not funny at his fucking family reunion with his family, we don't fucking know. All we know is Dave Chappelle's funny when we see him. Appearances are everything, right? Appearances are everything. Hey, everybody. Contrary to common belief, I know you guys thought I'm actually going to give him everything to make my hometown succeed. So if it succeeds, I get the political goodwill. If it doesn't, he gets all the political badwill. And he has the govern now. He can't see. The thing about it is socialism doesn't work, right? Socialism doesn't work. Press 1. Press 1. Socialism doesn't work. So now he can't be a socialist. Mamdani can't be a socialist now. He can't be a socialist. He has to do things that work. Because if he doesn't, it's all on him. It's all on him. What Mamdani has to do now is find another scapegoat. Now, this is what Mamdani can do. He has to find another scapegoat, right? Because Trump's off the hook now. Trump is off the hook. Trump is off the hook. If New York fails over these next 4 or 8 years, however long Mamdani's in power, Trump is off the hook. Trump is off the hook. He's told the world, hey, I'm going to work with this guy. I like him. And one thing we know about Trump, and most New Yorkers are like this in general. They love a winner. If you win, they love you. If you lose, you're irrelevant. If you win, they love you. If you're a winner, they love you. It's the big city. It's the Big Apple. That's how they are up there. They love a winner. Okay? They love a winner. And Trump respects the fact that this guy won the election in a landslide. And he's a rising star. And Trump says, you know what? I need some political goodwill. I got a lot of bad stories out there. I'll be nice to this guy. I'll embrace him. People think I'm a bad guy because, I'm sicking ice on people. And this is just a perception. There are a lot of people who think Trump's a bad guy. Oh, he was messing with little girls on Epstein Island. He's breaking up families with ICE. Look, your guy that y'all love so much, y'all rising star in the Democrat Party. You're a rising star. Hey, we're getting along. I'm getting along with your rising star. And I'm going to help him. Do whatever he needs to do to make New York great. So if New York fails, hey, I tried. I did everything. Gave him everything he needed. I gave him all the tools to succeed. So now the pressure's on Mamdani. He has to keep New York afloat. New York is not in terrible shape. Adams did a decent job. Adams is a cop, so Adams did a decent job. Eric Adams did a decent job. He did not do a bad job as mayor. He got in a lot of trouble personally and with his cabinet, but his governing, Adams did not do a bad job governing New York. So Mamdani is not inheriting he's not inheriting a flaming ass fire, right? He's inheriting a city in decent shape. So all he has to do is keep it there or make it better. And socialism is not going to do that. So he has to scrap all the socialism. Mamdani has to scrap all the socialism because socialism doesn't work. It never works anywhere on the planet, ever. It's been tried so many times and it's never, ever worked one time. With black people, with white people, with Africans, with Hispanics, it's never worked. Asians, it never worked. Mao, it didn't work in China. It never worked. I don't care if you Asian, you black. I'm talking about homogeneous places where there's only one race of people. It's never worked, right? So Mamdani has to scrap all the socialism. Trump forced him to scrap the socialism. This was masterful. He has to do something. He has to govern. And he's on the clock. You hear me? He's on the clock, Jack. I know he don't get inaugurated until, I think, January. But he is on the clock, Jack. He's on the clock. Because Trump was going to be the big bag boogeyman that was stopping him from helping New York. Hey, New York, this is what Mamdani was going to do. Hey, New York, I really want to help you. I really want to make this city better. But Trump won't give me the resources. And Trump look, and you can tell he's not giving me the resources. Look at how he treats me. He treats me like an asshole. He says mean things to me. And he won't give me the money I need for the federal funds to help the city. So, like, look, all your troubles and everything you're going through, it's not me. It's Trump. Press 1. That's what Mamdani was going to. That's what he was going to do for the next 4 years. That's what he was going to do for the next 4 years. I promise you. With a smile on his face too. That big smile. He's gonna have that big smile on his face while he's doing it. Now he got to find. He may go after Hochul. You know that he needs another villain, right? So Mamdani needs another villain now, and the only one he can go after is Kathy Hochul, another Democrat. Press 1. Press 1. You just said it, Roger. He got the only villain he can go after now to blame his. If he turns New York into a flaming ass fire, only person he can blame now is another Democrat, Kathy Hochul. And now the Democrats are fighting with each other. He can also blame AOC, Congresswoman. But, you know, yeah. Master Trump. Yeah, listen, Trump is a master statesman, man. This wasn't even politicians. This was a statesman. Because the way this went down, it was almost as if, because New York, 50% of the people were not born in the United States, right? 50% of the people in New York weren't born in America, or something like that. Some shit I seen like this, something close to that, right? Right? Shout out to Scooby D, man. Scooby B. Drew. Listen, Uncle Drew, right? Let me tell you this, man. Now Trump, like, how can you, if Mamdani comes out and blasts Trump, right? Now, Trump just got to be like, hey, man, I thought when we met, it was very cordial. And listen, you can't deny that. When we met, it was very cordial. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, I said I would do everything that. So Mamdani can't really go at Trump now. Mamdani can't come out and blast Trump now, at least not for a little while. Right now, Mamdani cannot blame Trump for anything. And in politics, it's about the now. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your ass off the hot seat right now, and then figure things out, right? You said, look at his girly shoulders and his granny energy. Well, no, I think Mamdani did a masterful job too. I think Mamdani was masterful too. He's 34. You got to remember, Mamdani's almost 50 years younger than Trump. Trump's got him almost 50 years. But I think Mamdani did a great job for a 34-year-old guy, man. I mean, he's young. He's a kid. When I was 34, man, fuck. Yeah, Mamdani's a kid. He wasn't ready for this. Mamdani wanted to go in there and come out a victim. Press 1. Mamdani wanted to go in here and come out a victim. He wanted to go in here and come out pearl clutching and, oh my God, woe was me. And Jesus, it's hard on a colored brother. It's so hard on a colored man. I tell you, being a person of color is really hard in this country. He wanted to come out with that story. Trump deaded all that shit. Trump deaded all that. He wanted to come, oh my God, I can't believe what he said to me. I'm a person of color and I walked into the Oval Office built by slaves. And oh my God, it's going to be so hard to help New Yorkers with this evil white man holding me down. That's what he wanted to come out saying. That would have been a political victory for him as a Democrat. Because remember, he's a Democrat. So their base wants different things. You can't look at it from yourself. You can't look at it from your eyes where, oh, coming out a victim would be a win for a Democrat. That's a win. They love the victimhood. They love that type of stuff. The victimhood, you know what I mean? All that stuff, right? They love that. Trump deaded all that. You got to stand on your own too. You got to pull your big boy drawers up, man, and go govern, man. And if it does great, I get the political goodwill. And if it does poorly, it's all on you, buddy. Trump master, man. He is a master, man. A master.
Difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
I want you to notice something.
Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post.
I want you to notice something. He didn't say ICE is not coming through New York. ICE, if you try to bring ICE through here, we're going to fight you. He said, we talked about the different ways where people are being pushed out. He spoke very vaguely. Trump took a tone, set the tone. Trump set the tone. Look, man, we're playing nice. Trump set the tone. Hey, man, we're going to play nice up here. And Mamdani, he would look crazy coming out saying, hey, man, don't bring ICE to my town or we're going to fight you. ICE. Mamdani had to say, we spoke about the different ways people are being pushed out of the city. Because Trump he set the tone of the interaction. Okay? Trump set the tone of the interaction. He set the tone. Mamdani can't even come in there and complain. He's got to come in there and be like, he can't pearl clutch. He can't whine. He can't cry. What are you going to cry about? What is he going to whine about? What is he going to play the victim about? What is he going to play the victim about? Think about it. And then when I got you in that mind frame, you're less likely to tell me about your grievances. You're less likely to tell me about your grievances. Because remember, Mamdani was big on, oh, nah, ICE ain't coming here. ICE is not coming to no way. Shout out to Ray Wall, man. He says, what's good, I hope you and the fam are doing well. Likewise, man. Likewise. Listen to how he frames his issue with ICE. Listen to how he frames it.
Dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out. And I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
And listen, Mamdani is smart, man, because a lot of Democrats like Jasmine Crockett or AOC or Hakeem, what the fuck his name is? Hakeem, whatever the fuck his name is. That crowd, they would still try to like fight and force a fight and pick a fight. And they would look stupid. He's one thing, Mamdani, he's smart enough because you know he's a con man too. Both these guys are con men. All the great politicians are con men. I'm not that. I understand that part. I understand that. All the great politicians are con men, right? Both these guys are con men, right? But a great movie for y'all to watch is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Press 1 if you've ever seen. If you haven't seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, watch it tonight with Michael Caine and Steve Martin. If you haven't seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, watch it tonight. It's the best con man movie. It tells you it's the best con man movie I've ever seen in my life. Yo, these are two con men, right? But Trump seized he seized the moment. Trump one upped them, but you got to still go with the con. Remember in the movie Steve Martin, he said, Michael Caine said, this is my cousin. He's in a wheelchair and he's mute. And Steve Martin had to play a mute in a wheelchair for until he could con his way out of that position. Gotta watch that Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, man. Tonight, man. Watch that if you get a chance. Watch that tonight. Watch it tonight, man. If you get a chance. If you can't, watch it tomorrow night. It'll change your life. It will change your life. Trust me. I don't say this often. That movie will change your life. Okay? Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Okay? But Raw Rodriguez says Trump is the GOAT. So Trump sets the tone. In the 48 Laws of Power, man, he's doing every single one. He's doing every single one. I mean, every single one. Here go one I'm going to show you. Here go one I'm going to show you that he did. But he did it. He did this one so masterfully that you really don't see it. Law 7, get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit, right? He said this law might seem deceptive, but in a power play, it's about managing resources effectively. The idea is to leverage the skills, talents, and capabilities of others to accomplish objectives while ensuring that the credit and hence the power stays with you, right? So he knows that Mamdani is a skilled politician, right? A skilled 34-year-old politician. You always got to remember that. He's only 34. So yeah, he's not on the level with the Obamas and the Clintons and Hillary and all that shit, right? He's a skilled politician, right? For 34. And Trump says, you know what? I love New York City. That's my hometown. You were going to turn it into a flaming ass fire. You were going to play the victim. How about this? I'm going to make you actually do the work, but I'm going to get the credit for it. Trump's going to get the credit. If New York does well, Trump is going to is going to tout that. He's going to say, look what we've done. Look how great we've done in New York. Anytime anything good happens in New York, Trump's going to take credit for it. Press 1. From here on out, if anything good happens in New York, Trump's going to take credit for it. If New York Eve, if they drop the ball and the ball doesn't explode, Trump's going to say, oh, we had a wonderful ball dropping today in New Year's Eve today. He's going to, and Mamdani has got to do all the work. Mamdani has to do all the work. He's got to do all the work. But yeah, he's got to do all the work.
Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I've got a question for you and then also one for Mayor.
Sure.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question. And on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. Changed a lot from when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And
I think he's going to surprise some conservative people. Oh man, Mamdani, the pressure's on you now, Mamdani. Trump writing checks for your ass, man. I think he's going to surprise some conservative people.
some very liberal people, he won't surprise them because they already like him.
And Mr. Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said you'd be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views. And what I really appreciate about the president is the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly,
see, he didn't deny it. He said, I'm very clear in my view. So he basically didn't deny that he thinks Trump is a dictator or fascist. You gotta peep his game. People on Mamdani's game. He didn't deny it. He didn't deny it.
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views. And what I really appreciate about the president is the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that.
And look at Trump. Another thing you do, you never take anything personally. Okay? All right? He's not taking it personally. He's not taking it personally. Another 48 law of power that's very interesting. Law 2022. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Surrender is often seen as a sign of weakness, but it can become a strength when you use it strategically. By surrendering, you can buy time, preserve your resources, and even turn the tables around when the time is right. So listen, it's nothing. Look, the guy's the mayor of New York. There's nothing Trump can do about it because he's not a king. He's not a fascist. Press 1. There's nothing Trump can do about it because he's not a king and he's not a fascist. So he just surrenders. You're the mayor. I'll help you. There's nothing he can do about it. So he's also, everybody who's calling him a fascist, because you got to remember, you went through your actions. Remember, you went through actions. You don't went through words, you went through actions. Went through your actions, never through argument. So he's not arguing with people about whether he's a fascist or not. Hey, man, y'all elected this guy. I'll help him. I'll do whatever it takes to help him. This is the guy you guys elected. I mean, I'm not a fascist, so I can't, just deport him or, throw him in a dungeon. Nobody can really call him a fascist now. How would it be if Mamdani comes out and calls him a fascist and a king and a dictator? What kind of dictator is this? We've never seen a dictator like this. This is some new dictator shit. This is like the neo-dictatorship. I don't know what the fuck with it. The dictator let you just run. Let the people choose who they want. Winning an argument gives you a momentary advantage, but winning through actions gives you lasting power. Actions demonstrate competence and create value, whereas words, often in arguments, lead to negative emotions and resentments.
And insulting. Maybe I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please.
Mr. President, Matt Hammershot from MTV Lebanon.
Good.
I would like to ask you a question about the Middle East regarding
Sure.
you said that Hezbollah in Lebanon is not in a good position. And Lebanon now is the final unresolved after Gaza and Syria. Given your assessment, like what you say for the Lebanese today, it's the independent state of Lebanon, and what is your next move to push toward disarmament?
Sure. Well, we are pushing for total disarmament of Hamas and, frankly, everybody else. And we actually have peace in the Middle East. As you know, the King of Saudi Arabia just left yesterday. We had some great meetings, and he's made a contribution toward the United States of more than $1 trillion. We have now over $20 trillion coming in. No country has ever had anything like that, not even close. If you go to 2 trillion or 1 trillion, it's a lot. We have 20 or 21 trillion dollars. I think that Hezbollah has been a problem in Lebanon, big problem.
Look how he's using this as a campaign ad. Look how he always slips in. He always slips in some kind of accomplishment that he's done. Look at every time he makes a comment, he slips in. Yeah, I mean, I had the greatest economy in the in the history of the country in my first term. Oh yeah, we just got $2 trillion. He's throwing all that stuff in. He's using this stage that Mamdani has brought him. Because remember, he had the King of Saudi Arabia yesterday, and no one cared. Press 1. He had the King of Saudi Arabia in the same Oval Office just yesterday. No one cared. This stage is being created by Mamdani. This stage is here because Mamdani is a rock star. And Trump is using it to his benefit. Masterfully. Salute to Raw Rodriguez. He said NYC is Trump's turf and Mamdani knows it.
Given your assessment, guys, what do you say for the events today? It's the state of Lebanon, and what is your next move to push toward disarmament?
Sure. Well, we are pushing for total disarmament of Hamas and, frankly, everybody else. And we actually have peace in the Middle East. As you know, the King of Saudi Arabia just left yesterday. We had some great meetings, and he's made a contribution toward the United States of more than $1 trillion. We have now over $20 trillion coming in. No country has ever had anything like that, not even close. If you go to 2 trillion or 1 trillion, it's a lot. We have 20 or $21 trillion. I think that Hezbollah has been a problem in Lebanon, big problem. We're working with Lebanon. We're working with everybody in the Middle East. That's another thing I think we have in common. We want to see peace in the Middle East. And we actually have now, for the first time, peace in the Middle East after 3,000 years. And now we're going to refine it. And I think you're going to see some very positive things happen.
There is a potential to invite the Lebanese president.
Oh, sure. Oh, I would do that. Absolutely. And if the mayor would like to be here for that meeting, because I know he feels very strongly. I think you feel very, very strongly about peace in the Middle East.
We desperately want it. And that's something that I shared with the president, that when I spoke to New Yorkers who had voted for the president last November on Hillside Avenue and Fordham Road, I asked them why. I heard again and again 2 major reasons. One was that they wanted an end to forever wars. They wanted an end to the taxpayer dollars we had funding violations of human rights, and they wanted to address the cost of living crisis. And I appreciated the chance to discuss both of those things.
He said a lot of my voters actually voted for him, and I'm okay with that. I'll do that. I'll sign it. Give it to me. I'll sign it in a minute. That's pretty good.
Mr. President,
Yeah, please.
you threatened to send federal troops to New York City. You both have differences when it comes to ICE agents in New York City. Mr. Mamdani, you call ICE a rogue government entity. I wonder how you reconcile your differences on both of those issues.
Well, I think we're going to work them out. And I think that if we have known murderers and known drug dealers and some very bad people, we want to get them out. And the mayor wants to have peace. We discussed this at great length, actually, maybe more than anything else. He wants to have a safe New York. Ultimately, a safe New York is going to be a great New York. If it's not safe, no matter how well we do with pricing and with anything else, we can talk about anything you want. If you don't have safe streets, it's not going to be a success. So we're going to work together. We're going to make sure that if there are horrible people there, we want to get them out. I think he wants to get them out, maybe more than I do. So we'll work together. We discussed it at great length. Yes, please.
Yeah, 2 questions, if I may. One for you, as President from BBC in a second. But first of all, to the mayor-elect. You're both from different parts of the political spectrum. You're both populists, though. And I just wondered to what extent the president's campaign style, his techniques, his social media use inspired any part of your campaign.
Well, I actually told the president that so much of the focus of our campaign has been on the cost of living crisis. And when we asked those New Yorkers who had voted for the president, when we saw an increase in his numbers in New York City, that came back to the same issue: cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. And they spoke about the cost of groceries, the cost of rent, the cost of Con Ed, the cost of childcare. And too often politicians are looking to lecture to New Yorkers what they should care about as opposed to listen. And when we spoke to those voters who voted for President Trump, we heard them speak about cost of living. We focused on that same cost of living, and that's where.
Okay, so I don't think Mamdani wanted to come in here and basically say good things about Trump. But by saying good things about Mamdani, he's forcing Mamdani to either look like an asshole, look like a petulant child, and keep trying to fight, or just go with the flow, man, and let's play nice. So Mamdani is playing nice with Trump. And this is, your most radical Democrat politician is in here playing nice with Trump. All the other ones are calling him fascist. He's evil. He's the worst person to ever live. He's Satan incarnate. And the furthest one to the left, the one that everyone fears, is in here playing nice. And he can't deny it because appearances are everything. Appearances are everything. He's in here playing nice. Shout out to Gary Reeve, man. He says Marjorie Taylor Greene will be on CNN as a contributor by April. She's the new Liz Cheney. By the way, Charlotte Benham this week, Benham this past week. Yeah, we're gonna get to that later, man. Shout out to you, man. Salute. Gary Reeve in the building. Yeah, man. Listen. Yeah, I don't trust conservative women. Amy Barron Cohen, the Supreme Court Justice Trump put on she was supposed to be conservative. She's flipped. Candace Owens flipped. Omarosa flipped. Remember Omarosa? She flipped. Liz Cheney flipped. You cannot trust conservative women. Press 1. They all flipped. Because women are going to always go back to their nurturing. Oh, my God, they're locking up the criminals. Oh, my God, they're deporting kids in cages. Oh, my God, Israel's bombing Gaza children. They have mothers over there. Pregnant women are being bombed. They're always going to go back to their nature. The pearl clutching and the, oh, woe is me, damsel in distress. We need to help the we need to help everybody. Give her, no, see, you can't trust them. Just don't trust them. Don't trust them. I don't know about that, but they don't have any integrity or ethics, but I do know that you can't trust them. You can't trust them. Can't trust them. Yeah, man.
I am really looking forward to delivering for New Yorkers in partnership with the president on the affordability agenda.
And I think we have to work a little bit. We talked about Con Edison. We have to work a little bit on getting the prices because, we've gotten fuel prices way down, but it hasn't shown up in Con Edison. And we're going to have to talk to them. If we're sending them fuel at a much lower price than it was a year ago, which is true, we have to get Con Edison to start lowering their rates.
Absolutely.
And if I may, last week you told me.
Absolutely. So what do you think is going to happen if the Con Edison rates? Con Edison is the power company in New York. What happen? What do you think is going to happen if the rates, the second the rates on power go down in New York? What do you think is going to happen the second that happens? Trump is going to throw a press conference and say, "We just got the rates lowered in New York." But guess who's going to do all the work? Mamdani. Oh man, electricity, yeah, and electricity isn't free, so you can't do no socialism because electricity isn't free. So he's got to actually scrap all the socialism crap when it comes to the electric company, Con Edison, and he's got to actually do something that'll work because, like you said, electricity isn't free. You can't give away free electricity. So Trump's forcing him to abandon the socialism. This is masterful, man.
You were pushing ahead with your plans to sue BBC for up to $5 billion. You're going to speak to Prime Minister Starmer as well. Is there any progress or any updates on those issues?
Well, we get along very well with the Prime Minister. We made a deal with UK. I like him. He's a fine person. And, I think they have some big energy.
And this is what how Trump views everything as a deal. He views everything as a deal. Okay. And in life, a lot of things are deals, but he views everything as a deal.
problems. You know, they've got windmills all over the place. They're going to have to start using other methods because their energy is out of control. Talking about in the UK, it's out of control. And he's got that problem. He's got a big immigration problem, as you know, and he's got a big energy problem. And we talk about it. He's a good man. Prime Minister's a good man.
You had a chance to speak this week.
I haven't spoken this week.
Have you spoken to President Zelensky, or do you intend to?
Who?
President Zelensky, about your plan to meet with him?
I've spoken with their people. We have a plan. It's horrible what's happening. It's a war that should have never happened. It would have never happened if I was president, and it's a shame. And I thought they should have acted quicker. But it's a cold winter, and a lot of the you talk about utilities, but a lot of the big energy producing plants have been under attack, to put it mildly, to put it nicely. Yeah, we have a way of getting peace, or we think we have a way of getting peace. He's going to have to approve it. Just so sad. So many people. You know, last month they lost 25,000 soldiers. This is something we haven't seen anything like this since the Second World War. They're averaging 6,000 or 7,000 a week between the two of them, dead soldiers. And it goes on and on. And I think they're getting reasonably close, but I don't want to predict. I would have said that would have been one of my early ones. I did 8 peace deals of countries, including in India, Pakistan. You could even go, in fact, they're coming here in a week or two, go to the Congo and Rwanda. That was 10 million people dead. And we worked something out on that, but so many. And the one I thought would have been, for me, because I have a very good relationship with President Putin, I thought that would have been maybe quicker. But it does take 2 to tango. And now you just see all the death. And, you know, it doesn't affect us other than the fact that we don't want to see all those people. That really, it's on the other side of the ocean. It's a war that should have never happened. It did happen. I blame the person also sitting right behind this desk. This is a war that should have never happened, and it wouldn't have happened if I were president. But we're trying to save a lot of lives. They're losing 25, think of that, 25,000 lives over the last short period of time. That's Ukrainian and Russian. And it's a shame.
What happened to President? I want to ask the mayor-elect about a House resolution just passed overwhelmingly to condemn socialism, including
See the Secret Service agent right here?
with 86 Democrats, all of House Dem leadership, and the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, despite his endorsement of you. What's your reaction to that?
I have to be honest with you, I focused very little on resolutions. Frankly, I've been focusing.
Condemn socialism.
I understand. I think the focus is on the work at hand. I can tell you I am someone who is a democratic socialist. I've been very open about that. And I know there might be differences about ideology, but the place of agreement is the work that needs to be done to make New York City affordable. That's what I look forward to.
And I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about.
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Trump is hilarious, man. See, what she tried to do is she doing her job. This lady ain't doing nothing wrong. This lady right here asking this question, she's not doing nothing wrong. You know, she worked for the newspaper. She got to ask questions, right? She got to ask tough questions. You know, and if it was a Democrat president, they'd never ask tough questions. They would never ask no tough questions, but they're asking tough questions because it's the Republican president, right? So she asked tough questions. There's nothing wrong with what she did. But if Mamdani answers this right, Mamdani may not be seasoned enough to know that, look, you don't have to be a tough guy, because all the people that are going to be mad at you for not being tough and rough with Trump, all those people that are going to be mad at you about that, you're more powerful than all of them. Mamdani is more powerful than AOC. He's more powerful than Jasmine Crockett. He's more powerful than Hakeem, than all these Democrat people, right? Schumer's on the way out. Mamdani's the future. So he doesn't have to worry about what they're going to say. right? He doesn't have to worry about what the constituents are going to say because they already voted for him. And he's got four. I mean, he's already in office. So he might have gone and, turned the tide, turned the tenor of this interaction to the left. He might have bitten the cheese. He might have bitten the bait that this woman rightfully asking the question. He might have bit the bait. So Trump just stopped him like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Stop. Watch this.
I want to ask the mayor-elect about a House resolution just passed overwhelmingly to condemn socialism, including with 86 Democrats, all of House Dem leadership, and the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, despite his endorsement of you. What's your reaction to that?
I have to be honest with you, I focused very little on resolutions. Frankly, I've been focusing.
Condemn socialism.
I understand. I think the focus is on the work at hand. I can tell you I am someone who is a democratic socialist. I've been very open about that. And I know there might be differences about ideology, but the place of agreement is the work that needs to be done to make New York City affordable. That's what I look forward to.
And I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about.
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
And Mr. Zohran, I wanted to ask you also about this Ukraine plan.
Yeah.
President Zelensky said today that his country would risk either giving up a partner or giving up its dignity. There's been criticism that this deal.
You mean he doesn't like it?
It's unclear. He was sort of
Well,
pretending to
he'll have to like it. And if he doesn't like it, then, they should just keep fighting, I guess,
The suggestion that you made, though, was that.
Hey, we got 64 watching and 32 likes. That's okay, man. Just hit the we trying to get 20 people to contribute to the show, man. If we get 20 people to contribute to the show, that'd be great, man. We in here. Listen, man. Y'all can take this into y'all life and tell people what really happened here instead of all the bullshit. I heard a lot of bullshit about this interaction right here, about what really happened, and I'm just like, yo, these people don't see what they're not looking at. They're looking at it emotionally. You have to look at these things dispassionately, and just look at what the people are doing. It's a game being played. These are two skilled politicians. I don't like Mamdani. I think I don't like Muslims coming into. I think Muslims, yikes. They turn countries into shit, right? He's the mayor of New York. Fuck it. There's nothing you can do about it. You gotta respect it.
If he doesn't accept it, that the U.S. would pull back its support for Ukraine.
Well, at some point, he's going to have to accept something. He hasn't accepted. You remember right in the Oval Office not so long ago, I said, you don't have the cards. Don't forget, I inherited this war. This war never would have happened. I inherited this war. And I thought he should have made a deal a year ago, 2 years ago. The ultimate deal would have been if it never started. That would have been the good deal. That could have been done too if you had the right president, but you didn't have the right president.
Mr. President, cost of living is something that you and Mr. Mamdani seem to agree on.
Right.
Democrats have run New York City for a long time, Mr. Mamdani. Do you see Democrat policy specifically as being a problem? And I'd like that be a question that both of you could answer in New York City.
Look, I think that there are many things in our city where we have to own the responsibility of it, things that existed long before the president was the president. And those are also part of the message of our campaign, was to take on a broken politics of the past. And I ran against a number of candidates who represented different versions of that past. And what we found time and again is that working people were left behind in the politics of our city. And what we're looking to do is put those people right back at the heart of our politics so that we don't have a situation where we're in the wealthiest city in the history of the world, and yet 1 in 5 can't even afford $2.90 for a Metro card.
Mr. President.
That was a good answer, man. He didn't shit on any Democrats. That was bait to shit on Democrats, right? He didn't shit on any Democrats. He took Trump off the hook. And he said a bunch of nothing. Great answer.
You know, we had some interesting conversation, and some of his ideas really are the same ideas that I have. But a big thing on cost, you know, the new word is affordability.
Now, we know Trump's not a socialist, right? Peep this. We know Trump's not a socialist, right? We know Trump's not a socialist. Trump's a capitalist. He's the capital. When you look, listen, he's the capitalist of all capitalists. He's our mascot for capitalism, even if he was never president, just who he was before he became president. He was the mascot for capitalism. Listen to what he says.
Mr. President,
You know, we had some interesting conversation, and some of his ideas really are the same ideas that I have. But a big thing on cost, you know, the new word is affordability. Another word is just groceries. You know, it's sort of an old-fashioned word, but it's very accurate. And they're coming down high. They were, you know, we had, both of us, we had the highest inflation in the history of our country the last 4 years under the Biden administration.
Salute to Chili Most, man. Gary Reeves says, this has been an assault this week on Democrats, but Republicans have to grow a pair and continue to hit them with their own words. Yeah, I mean, Republicans do. The Democrats are masterful at creating chaos, and they're masterful at pearl clutching. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Oh my God. And they control the media. Remember, they control the media. Thank God for Elon and Twitter. Even though Twitter is yikes. Thank God for Elon and X. Okay. We'll see what Barry Weiss does with CBS, but as of now, the Democrats still run Hollywood and they still run the media. So anything you see in the media is probably going to be a lie. So you have to always remember that. It's not necessarily reflective of reality, right? So you may be thinking, oh, everybody hates ICE and everybody hates ICE. And then a poll comes out and says the majority of Americans support the deportations. Poll just came out last week, said the majority of people support deportations. But if you just watch The View and CNN and everybody on Twitter, I mean on X and Twitter and YouTube that covers The View and covers CNN and reacts to those videos all the time, and MSNBC, the people that react to those videos, you would think that, oh my God, everybody was just, the tide had turned on deportations. No, everything they say on CNN and MSNBC and The View and any show like that that's liberal is a lie. So reality, the Democrats are great at distorting your own reality. Like, you don't see any Hispanic people looking over their shoulder when you're at fucking Costco's and shit. You know what I mean? When you pick up your kids, half the people there are Hispanic parents picking their kids up. They're not running up in schools and shit. You never see that. But the Democrats want to make you feel like that's what's happening. And you know, you got to remember that everything the Democrats say on TV is a lie. Everything. And Republicans have to find a way to get their message out there. And they haven't found a way yet. They just haven't found a way yet. They got to keep plugging away at it. Keep finding a way to get your message out there, even though you don't control the media. Even though everything out there is lies, you got to find a way to get your message out there. And Fox is so neutral. Fox is not conservative. Fox is neutral. So you don't really have any conservative news channels. All you have is independent. And all the independent conservatives are fighting. All the independent conservatives are fighting each other right now. So they're all beefing like SoundCloud rappers and shit. So you have to Trump masterfully used this as a piece of as a way to get his message out, as a way to tout his accomplishments, as a way to, get an audience for him to, speak without it being filtered through CNN, without it being filtered through MSNBC. Press one. So this is Trump. I'll invite Mamdani here. We'll play nice, and I'll throw in my accomplishments. Every time somebody asks me a question, I'll throw in a list of my accomplishments, and I'll also, take credit for any future success that New York has. Steve Gouch Below says, salute. I still do not understand how Mayor-elect Mamdani plans on sourcing the funds for NYC, for his NYC plan. In fact, I see no plan and no spreadsheet to support his statement. Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, socialism doesn't work, right? So, like, he ran on socialism, right? He ran on it and he won on it. You can win on socialism, right? Bernie probably would have been president if they would have let him run instead of Hillary, right? Bernie might have won, right? So you can do great things. You can get a lot of support for socialism. Hey, free stuff. Like if I owned a store and I said, "Hey man, we giving away free whatever the fuck." Like say I sold fucking clam husks, like the things you open clams with, and I said, "We're giving away free clam openers today." A bunch of motherfuckers will come down there for that shit. If I was selling shoehorns, if I said, "Hey, everybody gets a free fucking shoehorn today. If you buy, come down here and get a free shoehorn," people will come and get it. Free stuff is always going to move the needle, right? But you can't govern on it. You can't govern on it. And if you do, you turn the place into a flaming ass fire. So what Trump is doing right now is he's forcing Mamdani to abandon socialism. And Mamdani is going to have to abandon the socialism. I got what you're saying. How is his social? It's not going to work. He's not going to do it. He's going to abandon all that shit. All the socialism shit he's going to abandon all of it. But free shit, listen, free shit sells, man. All he did was say, "Hey, man, I'll give you a bunch of free shit." And all the immigrants and all the fucking black people and all the poor people said, "All right, cool. I like this guy. He's going to give away free shit." Now he's in office and he's not gonna be able to give them as much free shit as they thought they were gonna get. It just can't do it. It's impossible. And he can't blame Trump. So now he's gonna have to blame Kathy Hochul. So Kathy Hochul is on the hot seat. Hey, I can't give you this free shit. Remember the free shit I promised you? Yeah, I know. I promised you a bunch of free shit. But Kathy Hochul won't let me.
Administration, and we've got inflation down now to a normal number. It's going to go even a little bit lower than that. Katie, do you have something?
Yes, President, thank you so much. Mr. Mamdani often talks about New York City being covered by international law, that they will follow international law. Doesn't often talk about the U.S. Constitution. What is your response to that?
Well, I don't know what you're referring to in terms of it could be covered by international law, local law. It's covered by a lot of laws, but it's covered by U.S. law. Are you referring to anything in particular?
He just says that they're a city that endorses and enforces international law. Is that at odds with?
No, I don't know. Would you want to respond?
Yeah, I think what I've shared with the president is our desire to not only follow the laws of our own city, laws that protect New Yorkers, but also a desire for consistency in our politics across the board. And that's something that we've talked about and something that I know many New Yorkers want. We discussed ICE and New York City, and I spoke about how the laws that we have in New York City allow for New York City government to speak to the federal administration for about 170 serious crimes. The concerns that many New Yorkers have are around the enforcement of immigration laws on New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, and most recently we're talking about a mother and her 2 children, how this has very little to do with what that is.
What we did is we discussed crime. More than ICE per se, we discuss crime, and he doesn't want to see crime, and I don't want to see crime, and I have very little doubt that we're not going to get along on that issue. He wants to And he said some things that were very interesting as to housing construction. And he wants to see houses go up. He wants to see a lot of houses created, a lot of apartments built, etc. And, you know, we actually, people would be shocked. But I want to see the same thing.
Okay, so there it is, the ICE question. The ICE question. Mamdani gave a very political question. He wasn't all tough and rough, and he didn't. Mamdani did not stand on business on the ICE question. He didn't stand on business. Okay? Trump is owning this interaction. Mamdani was supposed to stand on business on the ICE question, man. Mamdani didn't stand on business. Because the way Trump has done this whole thing, Mamdani couldn't stand on business on the ICE question because we're playing nice, man. We're playing nice. Trump controls the interaction. He's controlling the interaction. Mamdani want you know. It's funny, man. It's one right here. Another law of power that's pertinent right now. It's a couple of them, but it's a couple of it's too many to really that like right now he's what he's actually doing right now is this one. Damn, scroll past it. This one right here. This is what he's doing right here. Trump is he's getting Mamdani to play with the cards that he dealt. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. The best way to get people to follow your plan is to present them with options for your desired outcome. By controlling their choices, you can subtly guide their decisions. So Trump is like, yo, we're going to play nice. I'm going to lead the way. I'm going to play nice. I'm going to, play nice with you in front of all these people. You're going to play nice with me. And that buys us some time. We're gonna play nice right here. You're gonna play nice. They ask you about ICE. You're supposed to go out there and stand 10 toes. Mamdani didn't stand 10 toes down. Mamdani been talking a lot of shit about how ICE is the Gestapo and all this shit.
Jack?
Mr. President, I want to know one of the policies as well that Mayor-elect Mamdani talked a number of times about on the campaign was shifting the tax burden for property taxes from what he called minority communities to white-based communities and putting more taxes on white people. I also noticed that in your acceptance speech. You didn't mention anything about America or Christians or white people in general. And so I didn't know if that was one of the policies that you guys had spoken about.
We focused on affordability. We focused on the cost of living crisis. What I will say is that I am very much interested in property tax reform, because what we see right now in New York City is a system that is so inequitable that it can't even stand up in court. And the president and I spoke about the importance of not only building more housing, but also making sure that regulation of housing is something that is manageable to actually get through, and not the cause of yet another weight that we see in our city.
You're continuing this idea of race-based property taxes.
No, to be very clear,
That's what you said.
no, the use of the term was a description of neighborhoods, not a description of intent.
So you intend to tax the whiter neighborhoods more?
No, we intend to create a fair property tax system because we want a New York City that is not only fair and equitable, but also one that every New Yorker can afford.
See, the people of color, he ran on, I'm a person of color, and it's us against the evil white man. He's abandoned that. At least now, right? Like, we know he may come back to that later, but he's abandoned it for now. You dig what I'm saying? Press 1. Shout out to Barry B. Barry B is in the building. Mamdani is not standing 10 toes down. I'm going to tax the white neighborhoods, and we're going to bring the wealth back to the black neighborhoods and the brown neighborhoods. Nah, all that shit out the window, man. But thanks for your vote.
Please, God.
Mr. Mamdani, anti-Israel protesters just targeted a synagogue in New York. Are you concerned that Jewish New Yorkers feel welcome and safe in the city? And President Trump, you've threatened to cut off federal funding to New York City. What policies would prompt you to do that? Would that be city-run grocery stores? Would it be something else?
Well, I think if we didn't get along, whether it's cut off or just make it a little bit difficult or not give as much, we want to see, I use the term, we don't want good money going after bad. And we don't want that to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I did say that, subject to what policies are being said. We had a meeting today that actually surprised me. He wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built. He wants to see rents coming down, all things that I agree with. Now, we may disagree how we get there. The rent coming down, I think one of the things I really gleaned very much today, we'd like to see him come down, ideally, by building a lot of additional housing. Yeah. That's the ultimate way. He agrees with that, and so do I. But if I read the newspapers and the stories, I don't hear that. But I heard him say it today, and I think that's a very positive step. No, I don't expect. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help, because I want New York City to be great. Look, I love New York City. It's where I come from. I spent a lot of years there. Now I'm right here. We took a big setback with the mayor that we had, Dave de Blasio. I thought it was a tremendous setback for the city. I think this mayor can do some things that are going to be really great.
Mr. President,
Okay, how about you? Go ahead, please.
You're a billionaire. You have a different address nowadays than you used to, but you used to call New York City home. Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would, especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I think I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job. He may have different views, but in many ways, we were discussing when Bernie Sanders was out of the race, I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had no idea, because he was strong on not getting ripped off in trade and lots of the things that I've practiced and been very successful on, tariffs, a lot of things. Bernie Sanders and I agreed on much more than people thought. And when he was put out of the race, I think quite unfairly, if you want to know the truth, many of the Bernie Sanders voters voted for me. And I felt very comfortable, frankly, in seeing that and saying that. And, it just turned out to be a statistical truth. But no, I feel very comfortable. I would feel very, very comfortable being in New York, and I think much more so after the meeting. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a question for you, but a very quick one for the mayor. Why did you fly here? Aren't trains greener?
I'll use every form of transit, and I want to make sure that they're all affordable in New York City, and that's why making buses fast and free is a centerpiece of our campaign.
Did you?
There's a bus that
Well,
goes.
but I know, but it'd be fluid. That's a lot quicker too. You know, I mean, he's working very hard. For him to be, that's a very long drive. I'll stick up for you. You know, the plane takes you 30 minutes and driving takes you a
And
long.
Mr. President, I was wondering if you could clear up some confusion around a Washington Post report. There was this explosive report that the Coast Guard is no longer going to characterize swastikas and nooses as hate symbols. DHS called that a lie and fake news. Can you clear up?
I don't know anything about it. When was this written?
I think yesterday.
Well, look, the Coast Guard's an incredible group of people. I know them very well. We just ordered a lot of new Coast Guard cutters. Beautiful, the most magnificent ship. They look like yachts with lots of guns on them. So I don't know. I haven't seen any report like that, but certainly we want them to remain a great force, and they are.
Mr. President, and you did a piece in all the 9 months around the world. I would like to ask Mr. Mamdani, you've accused the U.S. government of committing genocide in Gaza while President Trump was working on peace. Why that?
I've spoken about the Israeli government committing genocide, and I've spoken about our government funding it. And I shared with the president in our meeting about the concern that many New Yorkers have of wanting their tax dollars to go towards the benefit of New Yorkers and their ability to afford basic dignity. And what we see right now is we're in the 9th consecutive year of more than 100,000 school children being homeless in our city. And there's a desperate need not only for the following of human rights, but also the following through on the promises we've made New Yorkers. And I appreciated the meeting we had and the work that we can do.
So he's framing his anti-Semitism and his hatred for Jews. He's framing that in, look, I just don't want the tax dollars to fund Gaza. I want them to fund our schools, and I want the tax dollars to work for New Yorkers. I don't want our tax dollars to work for Israel. That's a masterful flip on what he did when he was running. When he was running, it was very hardcore against Israel, very hardcore, very anti-Israel, very Zion this, Zion that, Zion this, right? Now it's, well, I just don't want the tax dollars to fund the war in Gaza. I would rather the tax dollars fund our schools. Hey man, he's good for 34-year-old, man. Well, 34-year-old, he's pretty good, man. I gotta give him that.
Do a peace and work hard to make the peace, because you work hard to do the peace in the Middle East and everywhere. Do you agree with that?
I appreciate all efforts towards peace, and I shared with President Trump that when I spoke to Trump voters on Hillside Avenue, including one of whom was a pharmacist that spoke about how President Trump's father actually went to that pharmacy not too far from Jamaica Estates, that people were tired of seeing our tax dollars fund endless wars. And I also believe that we have to follow through on the international human rights. And I know that still today, those are being violated, and that continues to be work that has to be done no matter where we're speaking of.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do you view the mayor-elect as the true leader of the Democrat Party? And do you think Rita Schumer is a leader just because, have to follow his lead?
Well, look, I hope they have great leaders. This is a man that right now I think is focused on New York City. I really think he has a chance to do a great job. We're going to help him, but I really think he has a chance to do a great job. But I'll let you answer that. You consider yourself the leader of the Democrats? I think it's more appropriate for him.
I consider myself the next mayor of New York City, and I keep my horizons firmly on New York City. And I appreciate the meeting with the president, which focused again on the 5 boroughs and whether New Yorkers could afford to live there.
By the way, being the mayor of New York City is a big deal.
Absolutely.
I always said, one of the things I would have loved to be someday is the mayor of New York City. Being the mayor of New York, and especially now, because I think you're at really a turning point, one way or the other. It could go great, or it can go in a different direction. And I think you really have a chance to make it great. I appreciate what counted on it.
Mr. President, you say you love New York City. Mr. Mamdani, does New York City love President Trump?
New York City loves a future that is affordable. And I can tell you that there were more New Yorkers who voted for President Trump in the most recent presidential election because of that focus on cost of living. And I'm looking forward to working together to deliver on that affordability agenda.
I got a lot of votes. One more, go ahead, one or two more, go ahead. I tell you, the press has eaten this thing up. You know, I've had a lot of meetings with the heads of major countries, nobody cared. This meeting, that you people have gone crazy. You know, outside you have hundreds of people waiting. This is just a small little group. For some reason, the press has found this to be a very interesting meeting. The biggest people in the world, they come over from countries nobody cares, but they did care about this meeting, and it was a great meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah. In the most recent presidential election, because of that focus on.
Go ahead, one or two more, go ahead. I tell you, the press has eaten this thing up. You know, I've had a lot of meetings with the heads of major countries, nobody cared. This meeting, that you people have gone crazy. You know, outside you have hundreds of people waiting. This is just a small little group. For some reason, the press has found this to be a very interesting meeting. The biggest people in the world, they come over from countries nobody cares, but they did care about this meeting, and it was a great meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. President, I was going to ask you exactly that. Why do you think there's so much more, so much excitement around this than in some form?
Because I think he's different. All right, I think he's different, and that can be in a very positive way. But I think he's different than, your typical guy runs, wins, becomes mayor maybe, and nothing exciting. Because he has a chance to really do something great for New York. New York is at a very critical point. And he does need the help of the federal government to really succeed, and we're going to be helping him. But he's different than, your average candidate. Hey, he came out of nowhere. I said he has a great campaign manager standing over there. He came out of nowhere. What'd you start off at 1 or 2? And then I watched. I said, who is this guy? He was at 1, then he was at 3, then he was at 5, then he was at 9. And he went up to 17. I said, that's getting a little bit interesting, right? And then all of a sudden he wins a primary that nobody expected he was going to win. It's a great tribute. I mean, it's an amazing thing that he did.
And I'll just add one thing to what the president said. Is one thing I also appreciated is in our meeting to appreciate a portrait of FDR and the incredible work that was done with the New Deal, and also in thinking about what it can look like when the federal government and New York City government work together to deliver on affordability. It can be transformative.
We have a great portrait of FDR that I found in the vaults that was missing for years. I found it and I put it up. He's a Democrat to the best of my knowledge.
Trump even took credit for the he even took credit for the portrait. Wow. He even took credit for the portrait. Wow.
One thing to what the president said is one thing I also appreciated is in our meeting to appreciate a portrait of FDR and the incredible work that was done with the New Deal, and also in thinking about what it can look like when the federal government and New York City government work together to deliver on affordability. It can be transformative.
We have a great portrait of FDR that I found in the vaults that was missing for years. I found it and I put it up. He's a Democrat to the best of my knowledge. He's a Democrat. And when the mayor saw that portrait, he said, "Sir, do you mind if I have a picture taken by that portrait?" It's an amazing portrait. I hope the picture comes out good. But it's an amazing portrait in the cabinet room. So he's a big fan of the New Deal, I guess, and of FDR. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. President, you said that you both spoke about crime.
Yeah.
There are many police officers set to come off the rolls at the end of this year in New York City. Are you going to allow those police to be replaced with police officers, actual cops? And are you going to require that happens? Would there be some consequences?
Well, I hope it happens, but again, that's going to be ultimately the mayor's decision.
What's the answer?
Is that I look forward to delivering public safety with the NYPD. And I've said over the course of our campaign that we have the number of police officers today. They are the ones that's budgeted about 35,000 headcount. And I think the key thing is that we have to make it easier for police to focus on police work, not ask them to respond to 200,000 mental health calls a year.
So is that a reduction from what you're at right now? Are you committing to maintaining the same level of cops?
I've committed over the course of the campaign to maintain the 35,000. That's the headcount that we had through the campaign.
And not replace them with caseworkers, social work.
No, I've said that's the headcount that we want. What we need to do is make sure they can focus on serious crime.
And he just retained a great police commissioner, I believe, right?
Yes, we did. Commissioner Fish.
If the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
He he retained, I think, somebody that is she's a good friend of some of the people in my family, of Ivanka, and they say she's really good, really competent, and he just retained her, so that's a good sign.
Are there still topics that you see the two disagreeing on in the future, and do you think you'll have more meetings like this?
There will be topics that we disagree on. I think we'll probably come to a conclusion, and ultimately, he'll convince me, or I'll convince him. It's for the good of New York. Ultimately, it's for the good of New York. I don't care about affiliations or parties or anything else. I want to see if this city could be unbelievable. If he could be a spectacular success, I'd be very happy.
Do you think you guys will meet more in the future?
Sure.
Do you think you'll meet again in the future, throughout the administration?
I think we will. I think we will. I hope we do. I enjoyed the meeting. We had a great meeting. Please.
Mr. President, Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Zohran Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to a jihadist right now in the Oval Office?
No, I know, but she's out there campaigning, and you say things sometimes in a campaign.
Isn't that sort of
She's a very capable person, but you really have to ask her about that. But I don't particularly. I think I met with I met with a man who's a very rational person. I met with a man who really wants to see New York be great again. And I can say again, because New York was great. When I came down to Washington initially, the city was so hot. It was doing great. We were having some telltale signs of problems. We had a mayor that was not doing a great job, but still, it was moving along. And it went bad. It really went, pretty bad. And I think it's been at lower points, but it went pretty bad. I think he can bring it back. Now, the question is, will he bring it back all the way? Will he bring it back greater than ever before, which is, I guarantee, that's his wish. I think he wants to make it greater than ever before. And if he can, we'll be out there cheering. I'll be cheering for him. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
You chose not to answer the question about.
Thank you very much.
No, I care very deeply about Jewish safety, and I look forward to rooting out anti-Semitism across the 5 boroughs and protecting Jewish New Yorkers and every New Yorker who calls the city home.
Wow. Masterclass, man. Masterclass. Masterclass.
Breaking right now from Queen City News.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Caroline Boyer. We begin with breaking news out of Concord, where officers are investigating a mass shooting at the city's annual tree lighting ceremony that left 4 people injured.
Let that sink in. Don't let that go over your head now. Do not let that go over your head. There was a mass shooting at a tree lighting ceremony. Who did that, y'all? Who did that, y'all? Who did that, y'all? The Amish. Hey, that's a good guess. That's a good guess, the Amish. Good guess. Sun Teens, great guess. That's a great guess. That's a great guess. That's a phenomenal guess. That's a phenomenal guess.
Breaking right now from Queen City News.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Caroline Boyer. We begin with breaking news out of Concord, where officers are investigating a mass shooting at the city's annual tree lighting ceremony that left 4 people injured. It happened at about 7:30 tonight in downtown Concord. Queen City News reporter Shakira Speaks is live there. Shakira, what do we know so far?
Yeah, Caroline, still a developing story, but what we know right now, 4.
That wig, girl. You sisters got to stop coming on with bad wigs, man. Y'all making everybody look bad, man. Y'all making everybody look bad. You talk about, oh, black men make us look bad. No. You making yourself look bad with that wig, baby. Baby, that wig. You making yourself look bad, baby. You making yourself look bad, baby. Ain't nobody making you look bad but you. Okay? That's you. You did that. You doing that.
People were shot. 3 of those.
Shaquira. That sounds like the name of a show on BET. Shaquira Speaks. Today on BET, Shaquira Speaks.
People are critically injured and one is in stable condition. It happened during the city's annual tree lighting event that happened just before 7:30 today. Just like you said, take a look at this video that we were sent from a viewer showing Concord police driving towards the scene. The event was subsequently canceled once the shots rang out and people started saying shots fired. A lot of people were running back to their cars, as we were told. Police again say it happened around 7:30 Friday evening. We spoke to 2 people who were headed towards the tree stage when the shots were fired.
All of a sudden, there were 3 pops. And in my mind, I'm like, well, fireworks don't start until later. Mm-hmm. And then I saw like just a sea of people running. And I'm like, no.
This has never happened before. Yeah. So it definitely was a big surprise. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because there were so many kids right there. Like we were standing right there. Mm-hmm. We heard the pops, and there was a kid laying in the street, bloody. And it's not. I'm not worried about myself. I'm just worried about the kids that had to see that.
Very tough situation going on here in Concord. Investigation is still going on. Police tell me that they are still interviewing witnesses. They were slow and hesitant to say anything about the suspect, telling me that there were going to be more information that comes out a little later tonight and then into tomorrow. The parade is still going on at the moment. We haven't got any word. There's supposed to be a parade tomorrow at 2:30, and it's still a developing story tonight. Caroline will be watching this for more information on air and online. For now, reporting in Concord, Shakir Speaks, Queen City News.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.
Unbelievable.
Families were seen running and sirens were heard through the city of Concord after shots were fired during the Christmas tree lighting. You're looking live at downtown Concord from a photojournalist, Eric Johnson. 4 people were injured after the shooting around 7:30 last night. This morning, we're learning more about the shooting at the Concord's annual tree lighting ceremony that left 4 people injured. Officers say 3 victims are in critical condition and 1 more suffered less serious injuries. Overnight, Concord released new information on the 3 suspects in the shooting and the charges being filed. Concord police say that the shooting was between 2 different suspects who knew each other. One of the suspects, the shooters, has been identified as 18-year-old Nasir Bostic of Concord. He's also one of 4 people who were shot.
Nasir Bostic. Kavion Rashawn Bostic. God damn. Dude, nigga days, boy. Niggas. Yikes. Tree lighting ceremony. You can't even do a tree lighting ceremony without these niggas shooting it up. Trying to kill each other. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable.
And is in critical condition. He faces a warrant for assault with a deadly weapon. The second suspect is under the age of 18 and no information can be released. The third suspect is 17-year-old Kevon Bostic, and he's being charged as an adult. He was taken into custody and charged with inciting a riot and accessory after the fact. Two 17-year-old gunshot wound victims were also transported to the hospital, one in critical condition. During that shooting, witnesses say they heard popping sounds before the crowd began running for safety.
All of a sudden, there were 3 pops. And in my mind, I'm like, well, fireworks don't start until later. And then I saw like just a sea of people running. And I'm like, no.
This has never happened before. So it definitely was a big
And
surprise.
to
And it's
see
unfortunate.
kids.
It's unfortunate because there were so many kids right there. Like we were standing right there. We heard the pops, and there was.
Sister, you swirling. You swirling, sister. Swirler, divester, you damn divester. You tried to get away from niggas. You moved to Concord. Thought you was going to get away from niggas. You thought you was going to get away from niggas. Sorry. You ain't getting away from niggas that easy. I'm sorry. Man, you got your white man. You got away, you ran away from niggas. Well, I'm sorry, baby. Niggas, we showed up, man. We in the building.
Before the crowd began running for safety.
All of a sudden, there were 3 pops. And in my mind, I'm like, well, fireworks don't start until later. And then I saw like just a sea of people running. And I'm like, no.
This has never happened before. So it definitely was a big
And
surprise.
to
And it's
see
unfortunate.
kids.
It's unfortunate because there were so many kids right there. Like we were standing right there. We heard the pops, and there was a kid laying in the street, bloody. And it's not. I'm not worried about myself. I'm just worried about the kids. I had to see that.
And Concord Police gave a statement overnight. Police Chief Jimmy Hughes said in part, quote, "A night of celebration for our community was interrupted by senseless violence affecting everyone who was there. Our community showed great strength and resilience as everyone came together to help one another and our officers." That investigation is still ongoing, and Concord Police are asking anyone with pictures, video, or information to contact them. You can find out how and see any updates that we have throughout the day on QCnews.com.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.
Jesus, man.
We start with breaking news tonight that we've been following.
This is out of, again, Concord, North Carolina, as 4 people were shot last night at a Christmas tree lighting ceremony. That's according to officials there. 3 people were.
We trying to get 20 people to sponsor the show. 20 people to sponsor today's show. I think we've had 12. We had 12. Yeah, we had 12 people sponsor the show. Appreciate you. We're trying to get 20, man. That would be nice, man, if we could get 20, man. Do another show tonight, man. So we can do another show tonight, man. Another program tonight. That would be great.
killed were in critical condition and one in stable condition following the shooting. And this location is about 19 miles northeast of Charlotte, according to a statement from the city. It wasn't immediately clear what led up to that shooting, and police say they are reviewing video footage of the event and speaking with witnesses. They've asked anyone with videos or photos to share them with police right away. Videos and photos posted online do show crowds of people fleeing along with a street lined with emergency vehicles. The event was advertised as the city's 28th annual tree lighting ceremony and was expected to feature Santa and Mrs. Claus, food trucks, the film The Grinch, and fireworks. Quote, "We are praying for the safety of our brave law enforcement officers, first responders, and everyone on the scene." That is Representative Mark Harris of North Carolina, who posted that on social media. We are also hearing from witnesses courtesy WJZY.
All of a sudden, there were 3 pops. And in my mind, I'm like, well, fireworks don't start until later. And then I saw like just a sea of people running, and I'm like, no.
This has never happened before. So it definitely was a big
And
surprise.
to
And it's
see
unfortunate.
kids.
It's unfortunate because there were so many kids right there. Like, we were standing right there. We heard the pops, and there was a kid laying in the street, bloody. And it's not. I'm not worried about myself. I'm just worried about the kids that had to see that.
They see that all the time. Listen, man, a fucking tree lighting. A fucking tree lighting ceremony. I just want you to think about that. There's nothing more. There's nothing more family oriented than a fucking tree lighting ceremony. Okay? I can't think of anything along the lines that's more wholesome than a tree lighting ceremony. Let me think of something more wholesome than a tree lighting ceremony. Like a motherfucking, I would say a baby shower, but baby showers always routinely get shot up in Blackistan. Routinely. So can y'all think of anything more wholesome than a tree lighting ceremony? Like, I can't think of anything. He said that no, those always get shot up. Those get shot up all the time. I'm trying to think of something. Yeah, niggas shoot up gender reveals all the time. Something that like don't get shot up. Cause this is my first tree lighting ceremony getting shot up. I think this is my first one I've done on this channel. I think this is the first one I've done on this channel. I can't think of. I'm trying to think. I'm literally trying to think. I'm literally trying to think. I can't think of nothing, man. He said a funeral. Shit, those always get shot up. What you talking about? Those always get shot up. Those always get shot up. I mean, all the time. Damn, I can't think of nothing. This might be the most wholesome. This might be the most wholesome thing, man. This might be the most wholesome thing, man. Damn. You niggas ruin everything.
And of course, this is a developing situation, so very limited information. Again, 3 people believed to be listed in critical condition, another person shot as well. We are working to get an update here from officials, but for the first time here, I do want to play this very brief statement that was made by police as all of this was developing. It's only about 2 minutes in length, but they kind of go over what we know so far and what is still left to figure out.
Our annual tree lighting event is one of our most cherished and celebrated events in downtown Concord. That sense of safety was shattered tonight by senseless gunfire. First and foremost, our thoughts are with those injured, their families, and those who witnessed the senseless act. No one should have to go through an experience like this. So here's what I can tell you at this time. The Concord Police Department is actively investigating the shooting that occurred at around 7:30 p.m. on Union Street near the intersection of Corbin Avenue. The shooting occurred during the city's annual tree lighting ceremony. The Concord Police Department, Concord Fire, Cabarrus County EMS personnel were already at the event, and they responded immediately. They provided medical and evacuated the attendees. 4 gunshot wound victims were transported to the hospital. There are 3 in critical condition and 1 who is in stable condition. Police are reviewing the footage from the event, speaking with multiple witnesses at this time. Anyone with information is asked to call the Concord Police Department at 704-920-5027. And anyone with video or photos from the event are asked to share them with the police department using the link that we provided them. That's it's Patrick, Patrick, Tierney, Tierny. I'm a major. Yes, ma'am.
Still searching for the suspect. We're not going to take questions at this time. If you do have anything, we're happy to answer.
You can't just let us know if you're searching for the suspect.
Right now, it's ongoing. There's a lot of moving parts going on right now. So, thank you all.
More than one shooter. We're not going to take questions at this time.
It's such an essential event. We want to get the news out of it. Is there anything that you can tell us? Just something you can give us.
There will be more information that comes out as it unfolds. Right now, I've told you what I can tell you, and I promise you that more information will come out when it's available. All right? You all have a good evening.
All right, so again, some very brief remarks made there by Major Patrick Tierney. He is with the Concord, North Carolina Police Department. We are awaiting additional information and potentially a news conference from that location later today. 4 people shot, at least 3 of them listed in critical condition. We've not really heard much on a suspect or potential suspects there. Again, as we get that information coming in from our Fox affiliate there in the Charlotte area, we'll pass that along to you on Live Now from Fox.
Shout out to whoa. Jesus. We might have to cover this tonight, man. We'll cover this tonight, man. We'll do a show tonight, man. I know. We'll do a show tonight, man. Let me get out of here, man, so that we can actually I can do what I gotta do, and y'all can do what y'all gotta do, and we come back tonight, man. Salute to daytime show on Saturday, man. Everybody appreciate all you guys supporting the channel, man, supporting the content, man. I really do appreciate you guys. Everybody watching on Rumble. Shout out to Rocky Dennis. Rocky Dennis says we covered a Christmas tree light and shooting last year, man. Damn. I gotta look that up, man. I'm gonna look that up. Rocky Dennis said we covered the shooting at he on Rumble. He watching on Rumble. He said we covered the shooting on the tree lighting situation last year. That's crazy. But yeah, salute to him, man. Salute to everybody else, man. Great show, man. We'll be back tonight. We'll cover the Chicago mass shooting. There was a mass shooting in Chicago last night. We'll cover that tonight, man. Salute to all you guys, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Subscribe. Yeah, get that nap in. Yeah.